There is another very significant case which is developing and is ongoing, which is the tragic shooting of DCI John Caldwell in Omagh on Wednesday night in front of his son. He remains in a critical condition. That's a huge story over there and takes us back, sadly, to the fear and the worries of the horrific troubled times.
It was a very out of the blue. The police are very insistent that they're following a number of lines of inquiry. The officer is substantially injured, and at the minute it's still too early to say, but we have not had that level of attack here. It's a long time from I have been sent to cover. We have had scares. We have had what are now known as security alerts, which involve police officers. But this was a very defined hit. You get people who have gone to an area which is full of children and young people and lots of others training on, I don't like to use the word cross community because I don't like it. Across the community is better for me. You have everybody training there, all sorts of sports disciplines. They single this man out and they shoot him. And they shot into a number of cars, whether that was by accident or not. But that is not the level of attack that we have seen in Northern Ireland for some considerable time.
And the method of shooting has varied slightly in terms of what perhaps you would have expected?
Well, we're now told it's two handguns, pistols. Previously, those would have the method of choice would have been a sawn-off shotgun or similar, but very rarely would there have been a handgun used. That's why it's confusing as to who might be behind. There was a form which the police seemed to be equivocating on slightly because it was originally said it was claimed by a particular group, but it was in a very vague way. 7 people were arrested, 4 have been released unconditionally, and the other 3 probably time will be up today to either charge or release. And because each of them was arrested under the attempted murder, they have to be released unconditionally.
Are things dangerous as a journalist over there? I mean, how do you feel about your own safety over there?
I'm probably under more threat from people I name in court, to be honest. Right. They do tend to have I have one live problem at the minute, which meant a certain amount of other measures had to be taken. But as a rule, the press would generally be neutral to anybody who wanted to make to claim what we would claim a hit. So because all we do is report the facts, we don't speculate. So we try to stay neutral to be available for all sides, all crosses. But as a rule, no, you have to get on with it. That's all there is to it. We haven't got to the stage where we're wearing flak jackets yet, but it did happen years ago. You never know.
And I think the claim for DCI John Caldwell's shooting has come from the real IRA. Am I right with that?
The new IRA. They would be on a similar sentiment. Yeah.
So the new IRA, yeah. Has there been an increase in tension in recent years?
There's always an undercurrent. For a while, there would have been a level of infighting amongst various groups. You have some people who are still very fixed on their views, so there'll always be an undercurrent. But as a rule, it has been okay. I think they're now referred to as dissidents, which is the collective name for anybody who did not sign up to the Good Friday Agreement or Peace Accord, whatever you want to call it. That would then be, there would be bubbles up every so often, but as that level here had been dropped to medium, which was great, medium to us was great, but it's definitely not. There's been a lesser there definitely has been a lesser on that level. It seems to be more. There's a bit of infighting,
Okay.
but that's going to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.